Welcome everyone, I hope you're doing really well. Today I'm going to do my revert story, and I've wanted to do this for like ages and ages, and I've recorded it like, I don't know, a lot of times, but it just never really went how I wanted it to go. I don't know, my mouth looks like really weird. Okay, whatever. I've got like everything I want to say written down on my phone. Not like everything, but just like the main bullet points, so I'm going to, you know, use it as a guide. So I grew up in a totally atheist family. Nobody is religious in this family, like whatsoever. My dad was raised a Catholic, and then he left. He had like I don't know, he began to question things, he left the faith, and it was just a big disaster for him. So that's like how I was raised. As an atheist, don't believe in God, don't believe in any prophets, don't believe in any of that, okay? So when I was about 11 or 12, I think, I was reading a lot of books that were set in places like Afghanistan and those kind of places, right? Obviously Islamic countries. A big part of the books had to do with like Islam. So I was like, I don't know, just curious about it because I didn't know much about it. So I decided to like look into it and see what it was all about. And I just remember, like, even at that age, I felt like the more I learned about it, I just had like this strong connection. It was just, I can't even describe it. It was so weird, but I just had like a really strong connection to it, and I was like, I don't know, it just felt like something inside me was like, yeah, this is a good thing. This is what I want. This is what I want to be. Of course, my family, being atheists and also not knowing that much about Islam especially, I knew that they would not support that or not support me. I remember a few things when I was 11, 12. I remember emailing a mosque that was like in the like city closest to me, because there was no mosques in my small country town. There was like 7 churches, but no mosques. So I emailed this mosque and I was like, oh, my family don't know anything about Islam, and I'm like 12, and like I really love this religion and I want to be Muslim, but I can't. What should I do? And he just gave me like a really generic answer. So it's just interesting to look back on and see, like, even when I was like 12, like, and I knew no Muslims, and I had never even been raised with any kind of religion. I discovered this, and I felt like such a connection to it that I was like praying in secret and like, yeah, eventually my mum kind of like had a suspicion that I was, you know, getting a little deeper into this, because I was like talking about it a lot, not as, oh, I'm a Muslim, but like for my stories, because I love to write. So I was writing a lot about like, I don't know, but anyways, it was involving like Islam in my like stories, and my mom kind of caught on, and she was like, you know what, when you move out my house, you can be whatever religion you want, but under my roof, no. So, you know, I just kind of was like, well, there's really no point, I'm just a child, I have to do what she says. So I just kind of put it aside, and I didn't really think about it, but in the back of my head, it was like always there. And through my like early teenage years and then a bit later, I was really, really not on a good path. I don't really want to get into it because it's embarrassing, and I'm ashamed of my past, so I just don't really want to get into that. But I was really struggling with my mental health and a lot of things like that. It was just really bad. And I felt like I had no purpose in life. I felt like everything was just hopeless. I didn't want to bother with living. I was just in a really bad place. So when I was 16, I moved to like the city, because I'm from a really small country town. So I moved to the city so I could like go to school there and like hopefully, I don't know, just get back on track. Nothing really changed, and I ended up getting pregnant when I was 16. But looking back, that was really actually a good thing. I know it sounds a bit weird, but honestly, if I had not had my son, I would not be what I am now, and like I would not have changed a thing about my life, probably. I would have still gone down that bad path and just, I don't know, ended up dead or something. So after I found out I was pregnant, I was started at a new school, and I met this guy. He was from Afghanistan. Ever since I found out about Islam, like I said, I had like a pull towards it, and I just kind of, I thought like, oh, this guy, I guess he's Muslim, and I think he can help me learn more about it. But he was raised a Muslim, but he left Islam. Anyway, we started a relationship, and he was an amazing man, a brilliant man, and he took my son on as his own. I still tried to kind of like start my journey to Islam, but I really rushed into it, and I didn't have much support in it, and I really did not take the time and learn more. And I was with somebody who was not Muslim. Yeah, I started wearing hijab without really thinking about it or thinking what it meant or knowing what it meant. I just started to think like, I'm in a relationship which is not allowed. I'm pregnant and I'm 16. My past is horrific. I just thought, what's the point? So I pushed it away. Anyway, let's just move on a little. Me and that man had been together for a while, and he was raising my son like my son was his own, and he was amazing. My own stupid reasons, we split up. Again, like, ever since I found out about Islam, I just had this like connection to it and a pull to it. And when I was living on my own, I had my little English Quran sitting on the shelf, and I just was like looking at it all the time. You know, every time I saw it, I was like, yeah, Islam, that's what I need to do, that's what I want to be. But I just did not take that step into it. It wasn't until just a few months ago, no, 6 months ago now, my partner, my ex-partner, who we call my son's dad just because it's less confusing, so my son's father, he was killed in a car accident, and that was really hard for me. And then it just really woke me up and made me realize that our lives are so short, and we have no control over them, and we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. And like, here I am going, I want to be a Muslim, and I want to embrace Islam, and I want to do all the things that I think I should be doing, but I keep putting it off and putting it off. And what happens when I die tomorrow? You know, what happens if I die right now? And I just kept putting it off, and then I never got to do what I want to do, you know. I just started to look into every aspect of Islam, everything I wanted to like know about. I was watching lectures, I was reading my Quran, I was, I still am, you know, going on forums and asking questions that I want to know answers to, and, you know, just researching, reading and listening, and just trying to learn as much as I can. And I still am, obviously. I don't know nearly enough, but then I made my decision to wear hijab again. I know a lot of people maybe would think I rushed into wearing my hijab. Just to me, doing a lot of research on what this means and why we should wear it, it just felt like the next logical step. Whenever I'm going out and I put it on, it just makes me feel like closer to Allah, and it just makes me feel like, I don't know, complete. I don't know. But I also met a Muslim man, also from Afghanistan, but he is a practicing Muslim, and Islam is like one of the most important things to him. I mean, he has been like my biggest supporter, my biggest encourager, and we're engaged, we're gonna get married, so that's fun. So my family, they've accepted it, but they're still not 100% supportive. So he's been the one that's like always encouraged me, and encouraged me to wear hijab, and encouraged me to learn my prayers in Arabic and help me with learning them. And, you know, he's like been my biggest support. Honestly, I am just so happy that I finally am on this like path I want to be on, because I put it off so many times. I made so many excuses, and I wish I hadn't, because I don't know why I did, and I've like never been happier. It's like within myself, I've never felt more empowered, I've never felt more inspired, I've never felt more like at peace with being a Muslim. It just, I don't know, it just makes me so happy. It just, honestly, I'm just so happy that all the times I turned my back on Islam, all the times I just like walked away from it or gave up or thought it was too hard, I just feel like so lucky and so grateful that Allah like picked me and kept bringing me back, you know. They gave me so many chances and kept drawing me back and bringing me back and like didn't give up on me. That's how I see it, that's how I feel. So it's hard for people who are not part of Islam to understand how beautiful this religion is and how like amazing it is and how amazing it makes you feel, and so overwhelming sometimes with everything you're learning and everything like that, but it's really one of the best things that ever happened to me. So that was basically my revert story. I like to do some more videos. I have like a heap of ideas, so hopefully I will do them soon. So you can edit this and hopefully I'm gonna upload it and not like decide to redo it. Thank you so much for watching. Please like leave a like or subscribe or whatever you want to do. You can follow my Instagram. It's like gonna be in the little description box below. So yeah, thank you for watching and I hope you all have a really great day. Bye.